Good morning, everyone. It's good to have two representatives here already. Um, well, we're almost complete, but this this morning, I'm going to I'm just going to share with you some updates because as I said last week, we're going to do this. We're going to do this class project, which is a systematic literature review of housing and settlement literature, housing and settlement publications. Oh, I should disable the waiting room. All right. So. Um, just to remind you of our project timeline. So right now we are here, um, March 11th, and as I marked, we should have an initial draft, or at least have done something to the template, and ideally have done a little bit of background search. Now, um, here's a little bit of update from my side. If you're going to share any updates or questions on your side, I'm more than happy to listen to your updates, or perhaps you have some questions that you need to clarify, some things that you need to clarify. Then I'm all ears for that as well. So, initial draft stage update for me. I've done a little bit of literary search for the PPP for housing. I've done some Google Scholar search, and most PPP publications in Indonesia discusses PPP for infrastructure. So penyediaan air minum, sanitasi, and all of that. Mostly it's infrastructure, not specifically to housing. I did a publish or perish search, 2 rounds of keyword search, found 5 relevant documents. 5 out of all the possible documents, I found 5. One of them is particularly good. I'll show you what it is a little bit later on. As for the housing policy review, you may have heard that I have discussed with Frendika about this class project, and he said that he's interested in contributing to the housing policy review paper. And he was the one that suggested we narrow the theme down, because I'm well aware that it's a very broad term. PPP for housing policy review. There are hundreds of housing policies. So, which of those are we going to focus on? And he said to focus on supply, or housing supply, and the access, kemudahan untuk kepemilikan rumah. So housing supply, more specifically housing access. Now, for the public-private partnerships theme, there's a because most of the publications focus on infrastructure. So I thought, why don't we also focus on the public-private partnerships for the basic infrastructure, atau PSU, prasarana dan sarana umum, atau infrastruktur dasar perumahan. We focus on that instead of having a broad PPP for housing theme. But again, if you have any suggestions for this, you're more than welcome to let me know. As for consultation, Frandika said that he will be more than happy for the housing policy team to consult with him directly. Jadi kalian nggak perlu ke saya terus kalian nggak perlu minta izin ke saya untuk ke Pak Frandika, langsung ke Pak Frandika juga nggak apa-apa. So you can go directly to him, and he will take the lead. So I suppose that for the housing policy review, we should probably put his name as a first author rather than my name, because he will be contributing more to this paper instead of me. For the PPP for housing, we'll go on with this. I've placed the templates are available in our shared folder. If you should access that folder if you haven't done so already. And that is the update from my side. So what is next? Our next milestone is the draft development and hopefully results. But if we don't have the results, or any results by next week, that's fine. We can just push on. So next milestone is the draft development and results. We'll continue the literature search and documentation. Hopefully you will have better luck than I do. If you do come across a lot of literature, say like this. So this is how many results did I get this time? 41 papers, 135 citations. So if you get something like this, multiple papers, you don't have to read through all of them. You can just have a look at the abstracts. The abstracts should be the abstracts are sometimes available here. No, not this one. But yeah, you can double click to access the references, and then you can read the abstracts from there. If you read the abstracts and you decide that it's relevant, then you can continue to reading the content. If not, then you can set it aside. You don't need to throw it away. Just set it aside. Let's get back to this bit here. Set aside some of the questions that because we're not just searching, but we're also documenting the literatures that we come across. You might want to ask yourselves these questions: how many references did you collect? In my case, in that round of searching, I found 41 references. How many of them are in Bahasa Indonesia? How many of them are in English? Because we will be limiting our search to Indonesian texts and English texts only. And then how many of those references are subject to review, or how many of them are relevant enough for you to continue to review. And then we'll write up the draft and using the templates provided. One thing that I forgot to mention is, or that I forgot to remind you, is that we won't be working with older texts. As you can see here in the citation metrics, the publication years are between 76 to 2021. So that's not gonna, that's no good. So this is because I did not limit the publication years. I should have done this instead. So 2021, last 5 years would be 2019, 18, 17. So let's just say 2017. And then I do another keyword search, and only 24 papers come up. So we'll be working with such. We'll be working with these papers instead, and reviewing them accordingly. So this is the Harzing's Publish or Perish application that I've told you about. It's not. You can do a Google Scholar search on this, Crossref, PubMed, and so on. Even Scopus. That'll give you a broad range of publications. And the thing is that the cool thing about this is you can copy the results immediately. You can copy the results directly as an Excel for Excel with header. If you're using any other reference manager software, you can also download or copy the results as a reference reference management extension. But other than that, yeah. That's some of the updates from my side. If there's anything that you need to clarify, anything that you need to ask, then you're more than welcome to share your thoughts with me now, because that's what this session is all about. It's more of a workshop session rather than a regular class. Yeah, go ahead.
Is there a minimum reference to be reviewed?
Minimum number of references? Yes. No. Nggak ada batas minimum atau maksimum ya. But I might be wrong. If you remember the introduction to systematic literature review that I shared with you last week, I forgot whether it mentions a minimum amount of text, but you know what? Naskah yang kita bikin dalam bahasa Indonesia, jadi supaya lebih nyaman, kalau kalian lebih nyaman, kita diskusinya dalam bahasa Indonesia juga nggak apa-apa. Contoh ini, kita kembali ke sini dulu. Di sini saya menemukan 24 literatur dengan parameter publication year sekian dan keywordnya adalah infrastruktur dasar permukiman. 24 melalui Google Scholar. Tapi saya kira tidak semua literatur itu akan kita review. Jadi yang dilaporkan pertama kali adalah jumlah literatur yang ditemukan pada Google Search round 1. So the first round of Google Search attempt itu menemukan 24. Second round dengan first round dengan kata kunci apa, second round dengan kata kunci yang berbeda mungkin, itu dapat berapa. Terus kemudian dari literatur yang ditemukan, kita akan kita filter dulu relevan atau enggak. Relevan atau tidak itu kan tergantung dari tema. Ini bolak-balik. Tergantung dari tema project team yang disoroti gitu. Coba tanya ke Pak Frendika, housing policy review, supply perumahan, kemudian untuk kepemilikan rumah itu, kriteria pemilihan artikel selain batasan tahun 5 tahun terakhir, itu apa lagi? Adakah kata kunci yang harus difilter? Adakah kriteria lain barangkali untuk memilah-milah literatur supaya tidak, who has time to review more than 10 anyways, so nobody has time. Nobody has time to review even 5, so jadi ya, coba ditanyakan lagi, dipilah-pilah lagi. Yang PPP for housing ini kebetulan I'm involved with a similar project with the provincial government, walaupun that discusses basic housing infrastructure, walaupun kegiatan tersebut tidak fokus ke PPP, tapi temanya adalah infrastruktur dasar perumahan. So I thought, ya udahlah, barangkali bisa mengambil beberapa elemen dari situ yang nanti digunakan untuk memfilter literatur yang ditemukan gitu. Jadi kembali lagi ke pertanyaan tadi, adakah minimumnya? Ya, minimumnya 1 sebenarnya, karena kita nggak mungkin mereview 0. So, begitu, minimumnya 1. Tapi kita juga nggak akan bisa mereview secara komplit kalau cuma 1 gitu. Jadi, I don't know, 5, 10, 100, it's hard to say gitu. Jadi ya, batas minimum barangkali kita bisa sepakati, we can agree on a minimum of say 15 or 20. Anything more than that is highly encouraged. Kenapa kok 15 to 20? Well, karena hasil search saya yang barusan tadi menggunakan keyword tertentu, ketemunya sekitar 24, dan dari 24 itu belum tentu semuanya akan direview, karena pasti akan difilter dulu gitu. Akan diseleksi dulu, diseleksi dulu gitu.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
No worries, you're welcome. Anybody else would like to clarify or yeah, maybe you don't really have any specific questions for me at the moment. Have any of you actually started to, I don't know, conduct a initial search? Ada yang sudah mulai search kah? Atau masih bingung mau mulai dari mana?
Sudah mulai, Pak, tapi
Bingung.
sampai itu ya.
No, that's okay. Gini, banyak yang beranggapan kalau melakukan systematic literature review itu hanya berguna di academic setting, scholarly setting seperti sekarang. Tapi ketika kita terjun ke dunia profesional pun, apalagi kalau if you're doing consultancy work for the local government, you will have to do quite a bit of literature reviewing, karena pasti akan berurusan dengan yang namanya policy, regulations, legal framework dan lain sebagainya. So this little exercise should make you a more efficient and more effective at conducting literary researches. Kenapa demikian? Karena in one of my little experiments, mungkin kalian pernah terlibat di dalam eksperimen tersebut. Bukan eksperimen sih, angket survei. In one of the little surveys that I conducted about information behavior, or information searching behavior, perilaku pencarian informasi, perilaku penelusuran informasi, that I did a couple of years ago. I found that there is a heavy reliance on Google Scholar, and actually bukan Google Scholar, heavy reliance-nya itu di Google as a general search engine. Oke lah, kita semua paling familiar dengan itu, tapi heavy reliance on Google itu jadi problematik ketika karena hasil yang diperoleh itu seringkali nggak relevan. So Google might come up with a million results, but how many of us yang klik next page itu, how many of us actually do that? Sedikit. Paling setelah halaman pertama, kedua, sedikit sekali yang sampai ke halaman kelima. Sedikit sekali yang explore sampai halaman kelima. Halaman pertama, halaman kedua, udah habis itu, nggak relevan, ganti lagi keywordnya, search lagi. Kalau kita biasa menggunakan academic database, saya nggak tahu apakah ada legal database. Ada sih sebenarnya, JDIH, jaringan D-nya saya lupa, I-nya saya lupa, H-nya itu hukum. Jaringan something informasi hukum, JDIH. Kita bisa mencari peraturan yang relevan dan lain sebagainya gitu. Tapi maksud saya gini, kalau mencari informasi yang spesifik, misalnya peraturan, jangan cari di Google. Maksud saya seperti itu, jangan di Google. Don't go to Google, go to JDIH itu tadi. If you're looking for academic information, buat nanti kalau kalian udah seminar, tugas akhir, don't rely on Google. Paling nggak pakai Google Scholar. Akses emailnya ITS, your ITS emails should also allow you to access Scopus, Elsevier, atau Science Direct itu. It should allow you to access that. The ITS library access also should allow you to explore other academic databases. Karena kemarin when I conducted that survey, very little, only a very small portion of our students actually use scholarly database. Kalaupun pakai scholarly database ya Google Scholar. Jadi habis dari Google, the next most popular is Google Scholar. Setelah itu kebanyakan nggak kenal dengan academic database loh. That's a shame. Padahal selama kuliah khususnya ketika mengerjakan tugas-tugas dan melakukan seminar dan tugas akhir, academic database itu jadi harusnya jadi tumpuan. It should be the primary source of information or at least the primary source of literature gitu. Karena yang high quality ya justru di situ. Hard things publish or perish itu cuma perangkat untuk mempermudah kita menelusuri academic database. Di situ juga bisa kita peroleh paten dan lain sebagainya, tapi ya not really sure how relevant patents are to our current needs and context gitu. So yeah, salah satu tujuan saya melakukan exercise ini adalah to do just that, to make you guys better or more effective information searchers. Seringkali itu Pak nggak nemu apa, saya kesulitan menemukan referensi ini, saya kesulitan menemukan referensi itu. It's there, you just need to know where to look gitu. Syukurlah kalau sudah mulai search, tapi barangkali itu tadi karena istilah the umbrella terms yang kita gunakan itu masih sangat luas, still very very broad, so so you might get super irrelevant results, but hopefully dengan dikerucutkannya ke sini, infrastruktur dasar perumahan, kemudian supply perumahan, kemudian kemudahan untuk kepemilikan rumah. I don't know if he's going to go even further, kemudahan untuk kepemilikan rumah bagi masyarakat berpenghasilan rendah mungkin, or penyediaan infrastruktur dasar perumahan ini nanti barangkali kita sepakati ya. So it's not just my decision. Yang PPP kan Laura sama Lava. Jadi ya nanti kita sepakati lagi. Kalau misalnya Pak, sepertinya penyediaan infrastruktur dasar perumahan itu masih bisa dikerucutkan lagi karena ada PPP untuk apa gitu. Ya udah nggak apa-apa. Barangkali lebih baik begitu. Jadi literatur yang kita review pun lebih spesifik dan kita bisa memperoleh hasil yang lebih dalam begitu. Oke, ada lagi yang mau ditanyakan soal soal waktu konsultasi. Nggak perlu nunggu minggu depan untuk kita ketemu bareng dan sharing progress. Hopefully ada progress gitu ya. Tapi kapanpun kita butuh ketemuan ya, it's better to just say I found this, I found that. You can contact me, you can contact Pak Frendika through WhatsApp anytime di luar weekend tentunya gitu. So yeah. Jadi ketika sampai di tanggal 18 we have progress to report gitu. Okay, in the chat. Ini beberapa hari terakhir ini yang namanya QR code dan lain sebagainya yang berhubungan dengan presensi ini sepertinya agak bermasalah. It's been a bit glitchy. A lot of students have come up to me and said I can't scan, I can't scan, or if they can scan, then the screen goes blank and whatnot. So Um, don't you guys worry about your attendance. There's only 5 of us anyway, so it's easy for me to track. I will mark. I can see that everyone's here, so that's okay. I'll mark your attendance for you if you can't scan the QR code. Right. Anything else?
I think
For
no,
me,
sir. It's clear.
Yeah. Okay. Yoda. If everything is clear, that's good. You can set aside 1 or 2 hours to do this to do your literary search per day. That's how I do. That's how I do most of my papers anyway. Um, if I do have any updates outside of our project milestones, I'll send out an announcement in our classroom. Right. So thank you very much, everyone, for attending today's meeting. I look forward to hearing from you soon with any updates or with any questions that you might have. Have a great day, everyone. Take care. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.